Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I wanted to talk about, how in dating, people are constantly looking for, or I guess because it's a new year, people are constantly talking about, is this going to be the year where I find my wife or find my husband or partner you're looking for, and I would want you to ask yourself the question, what if you haven't found your partner yet because God doesn't see that you're ready yet? I think so often we think that, we're like, oh, like it's right around the corner, God's going to introduce me. And I think we keep this up. And it came up for me like the other night because I was looking back in my journals and I came across a journal from 2021 where I wrote, it'd be really nice to find somebody this year. And, and I think that if somebody had told me, or if God had told me that, I had to wait till from 2021, I had to wait till 2025 to meet my future wife, I probably would have been like, oh my gosh, like I don't know if I would have done the work on myself. I would have just been like waiting. I would have been like, okay, I'm going to wait till 2025, I guess, and just keep doing what I'm doing. But I think the, not knowing and just continuing on trying to better myself, is what actually brought me to Kristen. And I don't know, I just feel led to ask you, whoever's watching this, ask yourself, God, am I ready yet? Have I done enough work on myself? Am I the next? Am I the man that can handle being in a marriage? Marriage is a huge covenant with God, with God and your wife, or God and your husband. And there's a lot that goes into it. I'm not married yet, but Chris and I are going to be married by the end of this year. And, I've prayed about this, and, I've really asked God to develop me over last year and even the years prior, develop me into the kind of man that is marriage material, that is that type of husband that I can be to my future wife. And I think that I'm about as equipped as I can be at this moment. I don't have everything all together. I've not got all the answers, obviously. Nobody does except for God. But I'm as ready as I can be at this moment, at this stage of my life. And I think that's when God was like, okay, he's ready. And so he blessed me with Kristen. And she's been like an amazing, plus in my life. And really, she's also, challenged me in a lot of ways as well, in my faith. One of the biggest things is my faith that she's challenged me in, and she's made me grow just without me even realizing it. But it's not easy though either. And I think that's what so many people, they just look at the, the positives of, oh, you get to do this with your partner, you get to do that. But, they don't look at, that's just all the surface level things, like this is somebody who, is going to annoy you. This is somebody who maybe has bad breath in the morning. This is somebody who, is still a human being. And you have to be okay with that. You have to be able to accept that and still choose to love the person. And it's a lifelong promise, commitment, covenant. It's just constant, hope, perseverance, forgiveness, and there's a lot of other things that go into it. So if you're not, like, just look at your personal relationships. If you're not applying things in your personal relationships, it's no different from a marriage. You have to look at, are you ready? Has God prepared you, and are you accepting these opportunities that God's putting before you? Because God can put opportunities in front of you, but if you're not taking them and using them to better yourself and to become that person, then you're not ready. God's not seeing you're ready. And like, that's why I said, like in another video, I said, write a list down of who you're looking for, and then become that list. That's the best way to do it. Write down the list of, I want whatever. You want them to be, really in their word. You want them to be, respectful. You want them to be modest. You want them to be honoring. You want them to put God first. You want them to you know, whatever it is. You want them to want kids. You want them to only do this or X or whatever it is. But you also have to be like that as well. You know, you can't require a higher level from someone else than, you know, your own standard. It's like, you know, saying like, I want somebody who's, you know, 6'5", you know, makes $500,000 a year minimum, is constantly ripped all through the year, you know, is whatever, and then, but meanwhile, you're just like, you just only eat ice cream, and, you know, you're just barely scraping by, and, you know, it's just not realistic. You know, you can't, I know those are all surface level things, but that's the best way, like, that's what everyone sees in the world, right? So you can't ask those things, and not be also trying yourself, you know. So anyways, that's just a little thought, just what I felt led to talk about today. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.